And welcome back, everyone. We're continuing exploring the lists that you might see at Treasure Cup, and Law is definitely one of the first ones. It's one of the top ones that you're gonna see at Treasure Cup. This deck has been getting a lot of popularity, and with reason, because it's extremely strong. The most aggressive, like if you have a curve when you start like 3 1-drops and a payoff, you're gonna have an advantage over your opponent that is incomparable to any other leader. Like if you go Nami to Bonnie to 2 blockers and then another 1-drop, and then you swap into a Law, you basically won that game. It doesn't matter what leader the opponent is playing. This is those curves where you can just do all of that, and then the next turn you just keep searching and keep swapping all your cards back and forth. It's insane. So that's the reason the leader is so good right now and why it's gaining popularity, because it's extremely powerful what it can do. The weakness about playing Law is that it's a 4 life leader, and if you don't see the nut curve, where is the little 1-drops into a payoff, it struggles a little bit more, right? If you're playing into a green opponent that is playing a lot of tappers, a lot of cards that deal with your board, if they're dealing with your board consistently, if you're playing against red and they play a Nico Robin and you don't have a jet pistol against a Nico Robin, you're gonna have a really bad time, right? Because this list, the first one that we're gonna showcase, is the one that has been topping some events that I've heard about. I researched some lists and see what they're playing, and this is basically what they're playing. They're playing a really aggressive list that is trying to do what I was saying, and it's trying to use the jet pistols as removal, and it's trying to go as fast as possible, and it's trying to kill the opponent super fast, because you get a lot of advantage and a lot of swapping potential with this Law. This is the most important card of the deck, followed by like these rushers to complement aggression, and all of this is just giving you a lot of advantage early on, but you're really trying to be super aggressive. I still think I've seen a lot of lists playing this still, but yeah, you still should play all of these Cat Viper and ISO, because when you're playing against green, you're trying to fight their board. You're still trying to, in the mirror, if you see a Nico Robin, you want to kill the Nico Robin. If you see an Okiku, you want to kill the Okiku, and the most efficient way to kill an Okiku is playing a Nekomushi, playing an Otama, and attack it with the leader, maybe attach one to make sure that it dies. Same with the Robin. Like the fact that you can play Otama and then bounce it back to your hand eventually to play a Law, it's what makes this leader super efficient and super good. Because Otama is your main piece of removal in the deck, and also your way to use in combination with Otama Jet Pistol. Because usually red does play this combo where they're trying to do Otama Jet Pistol, get rid of an 8-drop, but they just lose 2 cards out of the hand to do that. With Law, however, you do not have that problem, because once you have 5, you bounce your Otama back to your hand, you have a 2k counter, and you can use it again if you so like to, but you also just have a 2k counter in your hand, so you get multiple use out of this card. This is the card that makes Law as good as it is right now, because all the things that you can enable with her is what makes Law super abusive, and you can do so many things with it. So we're playing also Brook, because on this list you're trying to be hyper aggressive, and Brook is a card that you basically play for free, and you give something else 2 energy to attack with. So you do want to play Brook, you do want to play full play Zoros, you do want to play Nico Robin to be efficient with your cards, so you can attach an energy, attack with Robin, swap it back for a Trafalgar Law, get it back to the hand, play back a Robin, and just keep using her, getting advantage that way, and being able to finish the game for those cases where that's gonna happen. I went for the list that usually they're playing. I would go for maybe one more Luffy, because I do like this Luffy on this list, because it's just an unblockable, and you can play it at any point, and it's gonna be easier to defend than a Zoro. I would actually make that swap, but it's up to your discretion. It's basically playing the same thing. You play the jet pistols because you don't want to attack their board. You just want to eliminate their blockers or their whatever is inconvenient for you. And you're trying to be very aggressive with this list. You're playing 2 blockers, don't combo, but still blockers are blockers, and blockers are good. And this is basically the list that's top a lot of events. And I wanted to showcase that because you're gonna see this list for sure. One thing that I don't like is they're not playing the A drop, and I think it's just free to add that card. But I guess in this list it's not so much because you're just trying to be aggressive as you can. And it's just gonna have a tougher time against aggro decks. That's the main weaknesses of this list. It's just you're not gonna have a good time against aggro decks or decks that are gonna outvalue you by attacking your board and not letting you have a board. Like a king against this deck is brutal because they eliminate two things. They're gonna eliminate your board, and if you don't have a board, this deck doesn't do much. It's basically a vanilla deck, right? If they kill your board, if they do a 10-drop Kaido, rebuilding, it's really hard for this deck because you're not gonna have a hand because you already wasted all your resources attacking, and rebuilding 5 cards into the board when you don't have a hand, it's impossible, right? It's not like that easy to do, and that's when you're gonna struggle the most. If they have any type of removal, if they have any type of even aggression against your leader, like super heavy aggression, or eventually at some point they're gonna have a rush Luffy that is unblockable, and all these blockers that you're playing don't do anything because you're just gonna attack your leader for hyper high numbers, and you already wasted all your resources trying to defend your cards, and you're just gonna die because of that. And you play a lot of your cards into the board, so you don't have that much of a hand either. So that's the main weakness of the deck. That it could be killed easily. It could be there is scenarios. It's powerful, of course. You're being really aggressive, but you could also die on the same way. Like if there is a misstep on some way, you're gonna die. And so that's the main thing that I want to showcase about this list. It's still powerful again. It's been topping, and you're gonna see it this way probably. But it does have some heavy drawbacks to playing it this way. And with that, let's go into the next list. Right now, let's go with my list. This is my personal list that I use. This is a list that I call Law Control. I made a video about it, and I have a video already and a gameplay video for this one. So if you want to see more about this list, you can go check them out. The main feature of this list is that I'm trying to focus on the A drop. That's the main. This card is just too nuts to not play in any format, like in any green deck. You should play this card if you have the access to play it, and you're trying to. The main also feature of this list is that I'm trying playing three different searchers, and in doing so, I have a lot of grinding potential in this list. Like I can win the game eventually because I have so many cards more than my opponent that they're not gonna be able to keep up with me. My advantage is that I'm gonna be playing a searcher, swap it back and forth for something else, attack with something, swap it to my hand, get a searchers, flip it. Like all of these cards, and all of these cards behind an A drop are incredible. Like that's how you win the game. You play the A drop. If they cannot answer it, you can attack with your Luffy's. They cannot get attacked back, and this is a 7k attacker on offense and on defense. Same with the Zoro. I mean, I'm sorry, just an offense. But same with the Zoro. You can attack with them, and they basically become AKs because the leader, they have to get through this one first. And it's not easy to get rid of this leader because you're playing cards like the Red Hawk, and you have a lot of combo power. Because I also added this Luffy because you can search it out of these two, and it's also free combo power that you can get. This card serves as a double purpose in this deck, as finisher and as a combo power, which it's really good in this deck. And I like just playing two of this one because you can search it and you use it when you have to use it. You just don't use it like willy-nilly. You just have to use it when you have to use it. Like if there is something that is a problem and you recognize that you have to use it here, this is when you have to use it when it's necessary, not just like because I want to remove something. And you get to play like more of these ones because they're searchable. These 4 are searchables in the same engine. And the tappers are really good on this deck because you get to tap something, attack it, and then swap it eventually for something else, and you're gonna get too much advantage by doing so. And I really like these cards on this leader. And you again, being able to protect your board and everything, you're not gonna have a hard time against red because eventually how red wins against Law is because eventually they're gonna put you at 0 life, and they're gonna have a double jumbo for game, or they're gonna have a Ruffy rush. Put everything under the Luffy, and all these blockers that you're gonna play on green, they're not gonna work, and then they're gonna go after your life. But if you have Red Hawk, you're gonna be able to combo whatever number the opponent is trying to go for. So that's why I like this card and this leader, and you should play it because it's a really good card in this leader at least, or any leader actually. But this one is double name, and double name means that it's searchable out of these two, which is really nice. And yeah, let's go into the next list. So what if you would like to play like a blend between both lists, where you can still be aggressive and play the A drop? This is how we play it. You have to take something out, so I decided to take out the Momo engine. I still would like you to play these two cards because they're too important in some matchups, and you just want to play them and being able to tap something, kill it, and then bounce it back to your hand. They're still really important. The Brook is also a good synergy with the Kid, because you can play with the leader, keep up like on turn 8 or on 10 energy. You can play the Brook. If you already have a blocker out, you can defend it with a Gungam. So that's a nice synergy that they can actually have with this kind of things. You're still playing the Zoros at full playset, and Zoros behind the A drop, they're good, especially if you can play them behind the Law, because you can attack with the Zoro, swap it back to your hand, play the Law, play the Law, bounces something else, plays a Zoro, you attack again. So there's a lot of combinations that you can do with this leader, and once they're behind the A drop, that you don't have to worry about that they can attack your Zoro back. The Zoro gets so much better than a regular list. So you can do a blend like this, which is still good. You cannot play full playset of pistols, because then you're not gonna have any cards to combo with, and that's gonna be a problem, because like these are blockers, but they have no combo power. All of these cards don't have combo power, so you're gonna have problems comboing out of attacks. So you cannot play that many cards that you cannot combo with. However, this is a blend. If this is more your style and this is something that you want to try, this is definitely the way that you should go. And there's many other ways to build this deck. Actually, there could be a way to play with like a heavier Wano engine, where you're trying to swap into your Risors and maybe your Yamatos. And there's some other ways that we haven't even explored because I haven't had the time. But yeah, I mean, Law is one of is my favorite leader of this set. It's so fun to play and so fun to build. And but these are some of the ways that you can do it yourself, and expect Law on Treasure Cup for sure, and learn how to play against it and learn how to play with it, because it's really fun to play him. Thank you for watching, and let's wait for the next videos that we're coming up, and thank you for watching.